When I transitioned from Evanston Township High School, senior, to Boston College, freshman, I considered changing my name from Saya to Alexis. Saya stood for everything that was different and wrong. Alexis was the epitome of normalcy and thus of good. I thought college, blank slate. No one knows me as the loser outsider I've always been. I can be normal. I can be Alexis. Something happened, though, when I got to Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, perhaps the most white Irish Catholic place on earth outside of Ireland. A biracial Ukrainian African atheist, I stuck out. But people began to treat me as exotic, bohemian even. What made me different, what had been daggers in my self-esteem and ability to self-love, turned into reasons people would encircle me at a party or introduce me as cool and interesting. This was when anger for my mother changed into appreciation for my mother. But it was a journey to get there. Mom's water broke at her job when she was 10 months pregnant with me. I couldn't even be born normally. As she's never had a car, I asked how she got home. I don't think I rode my bike. Did I? No, I must have taken the bus. The fact that riding her bike was a transportation option when about to birth a 10-monther pretty much encapsulates Mom and the beat to which she marches. I was born in an apartment above a grocery store, just me and Mom, by her choice. Her contractions began at 7:30 p.m., and at 1 a.m., out I came as she squatted alone next to the bathtub. I wasn't named for a year, as she wanted to get to know me. My birth certificate said Baby Hillman. Eventually, she decided to tweak the moniker of one of her literary loves, Maya Angelou, take out the M, put in the S, Saya. To make money as a single mom, she sold homemade dried flower arrangements at craft fairs, typed PhD dissertations for Northwestern grad students in the pre-computer age, was the sole female apprentice in a wood shop, and eventually settled down as a self-taught organic gardener. I was known as the girl in the buggy, easy to spot riding backwards behind Mom's bike with an uncombed afro and mismatched homemade clothes. We shopped at Oak Street Market, Whole Foods before there was Whole Foods, and embarrassingly, Mom would bring canvas bags from home. Who brings their own bags to the grocery store? I taught myself to ride a bike, as Mom refused to let me use training wheels or to run alongside me holding the back of my seat, eventually letting go, citing both practices as impedances to independence. I never had normal stuff. My peanut butter was cold, hard oil on top instead of Skippy. My toothpaste was Tom's of Maine instead of Aquafresh. My school sandwiches were packed in wax paper instead of baggies with green and yellow stripes atop. My peers lived in homes with banisters and yards. They were named Jessica, Jennifer, Amy. They had straight hair and cute noses. They had microwaves, vacuums, TVs. They had siblings and 2 parents, at least one of whom worked downtown, carried a briefcase, and wore slacks. My peers didn't need quarters to do laundry. They didn't have a parent who bartered their child's private school tuition, writing its newsletter and tending its garden in exchange. As middle school reared its ugly head and I transferred from the safety of Caravali Montessori to public school, I got bigger in size and smaller in self. 6th grade brought with it my first experiences with mean girls and mean boys, with crushes and crushed hearts, with what it meant to be popular. Fat, poor, biracial girls with unusual names and unusual moms were not popular. I tried to be normal. I hung out at the Gap. I asked for a yellow Sony Walkman for my birthday. After Christmas was over and trees were disposed of in the alley, I'd drag one up our 3 flights of stairs and put it in the living room. High school years, I was in a SNT, and most of it was directed at Mom. She made life so hard. But with my transition from ETHS senior to BC freshman, starting with the financial aid I got, scholarships for being Black, Jewish, tall, a change came. I began to embrace my differences and to value her choices. Perhaps my entrepreneurial spirit that's brought me 10 blissful years of self-employment, recognition in the New York Times, Forbes, Cranes, and a best friend turned husband, perhaps that entrepreneurial spirit is rooted to Mom. Perhaps she wasn't trying to ruin my life by feeding me organic peanut butter. There are still moments when I wish she was normal. Why can't you have health insurance? Why can't you shave your legs? Why can't you talk about all the beauty there is in the world instead of all the injustice and pain? Why can't a mother-daughter afternoon of manis and petties appeal to you? But I've emerged with Mom ingrained in and alongside me, for better and for worse. Like when we embarked on the traditional Christmas Eve journey that many Jews travel, Chinese dinner and a movie. Except in true Saya and Debbie fashion, we quickly untraditionalized it. We didn't see a movie and decided we wanted non-Chinese. Most places were closed, but Charlie's Ale House was surprisingly open. The hostess invited us to sit anywhere. Oh, really? That's odd. Usually they seat you, but chalk it up to holidayness, okay? Our waitress came. So nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming out. A bit overexcited, but Christmas spirit, I get it. As she left excitedly to get our drinks, I looked around. Something felt different. The other patrons, they didn't look like your normal Charlie's crowd. Less singles with their single friends, less J. Crew, less white, and the staff was gushing excitedly with all of them. When we asked the waitress for our check, she said, "Don't worry about it." I'm all for the Christmas spirit, but really? We tried a couple of times to insist. No dice. As we bundled up in the lobby, we noticed a flyer on the inner door. Charlie's Ale House welcomes members of the Uptown Community Shelter. We read the sign a few more times. All of a sudden, it made sense. The overly excited staff, the clientele that didn't fit, the refusal of payment. We had crashed a holiday dinner for the homeless. What good can come from stealing from the poor? You would think nothing, but our reverse Robin Hooding helped me conclude, Alexis, screw Alexis. Mom's Mom, and I'm Saya, for better and for worse, but mostly for better. Thank you.